Well, it was another disappointing road loss for our football team. And you go back to the first couple plays of the game. I mean, it started there when we came out and um, threw a pick on the first play, and we come back the second play and we fumble the ball. You don't. You talk about going on the road and win. You can't go on the road and win games like that. And even though we made those two mistakes early, we still were there in the game. But it's hard to win a football game as it is, but it's even harder when you turn the ball over four times with one of them being a touchdown. And you think about us driving down, had a chance to go up before the half, and then get the ball back and get the momentum on our side, and it totally flipped um, by some mistakes by us. So and give them credit, they took advantage of it, and it's hard to win on the road when you play that sloppy. You made those mistakes, and you can't turn. You hear guys hear me all the time about taking care of the ball, and we've been really good with that all season long. And we picked the wrong time to go on the road and have a bad game like that.
Coach, I mean, it seemed like against Air Force, you kind of had to throw the playbook out the window. But for this game, you were able to kind of regain the confidence going into halftime. Did you see it in that same light?
Well, I thought before halftime, before the pick six, our guys. I mean, again, we had momentum and we was rolling. Our guys was believing and they felt good about everything. And then the pick six took a lot out of us before the half. But I thought halftime our guys were had their minds in the right spot. And again, we drove down there and didn't get anything out of the half. And um, it's just, again, like I say, when you turn the ball over, it's tough. And for us, more important, when you can't run the football, it's even tougher. So we did a horrible job running the ball. And again, that's what we pride ourselves on. And again, we didn't get it done up front.
Oh, Coach, even though that the running game wasn't as strong as you thought, or as strong as you would like it to be, that drive before the second half, before halftime, before the pick six was looking pretty good. Did you think that you had some confidence going there? And if so, how much did that pick six kind of just draw things back, even though you were going to get the ball to begin the second half?
Well, I think this football, when you playing a game of football in any sports, you can't take for granted what momentum does for you. And we had a lot of momentum on that drive, and one play, it took it all out of not just the offense, but the entire football team, and then once that momentum go, you got to do something in order to get it back on your side, and we never did offensively do anything to get it back on our side to get us going. So and they kept it all, and it was tough when you just don't make enough plays to get it back.
Coach, we were talking about the coach's performance beforehand. What you wanted to see from him? You wanted to see a consistent performance here, and he was pretty sporadic today. Can you talk about what you think that he did wrong, and can you go through the thought process of putting in Tronzi at the end of the third quarter?
Well, I thought those first couple plays by itself kind of spooked him and kind of got him out of whack. I thought he had a great week of practice. He did a great job in meetings and talking about what he's supposed to do, when he's supposed to do it. I mean, he was better this week than he was the week before when it came to all that. But I think those first two plays really spooked him. And I think as the game went on and he started to get hit and all, he started looking at the rush a lot more. And yeah, when you start playing that way, it's tough to play the quarterback position when you start looking at the rush. But it's also tough when you keep getting hit when you drop back to throw it. So um, again, not the performance that we wanted from him, by no means. I mean, those first two plays by itself, um, I mean, started that downward swing for us. So I know Nkosi, he was beat up there at the end, and again wanted to put Nick in and um, see if we can get going. But he was a little beat up, his hand and his ankles. He took a beating.
Coach, if I may, how much of the offensive line struggling tonight had a role in pulling Perry um, tonight?
I don't think it had a role in pulling Perry because Perry was getting hit before he got out. So the reason why he was out and beat up, he was getting hit. So I can't put that on pulling Perry out. It just we didn't get it done up front, and we should have been better. We wasn't better. And I go back to You got to be able to run the football. We got to be able to run the football. You look at losses, and when we don't play good, we're not good at running the football. And that's a must. We got to be better than starts up front. I mean, they had 3 guys in there that we didn't do a good job of blocking 3 guys. So that was disappointing.
Just to clarify, I'm sorry, Jack. Just to clarify real quick, when it came to pulling Perry, was it because you said that he was banged up because of the beating that he was taking before the game, or was it because that Nick kind of gave you guys the best chance to win, possibly?
No, he got beat. He was beat up. I mean, he had an ankle. He couldn't run around, and again, we wasn't blocking anybody. Um, and his hand was on. I think he reopened the stitches again on his hand. So, but that was the reason.
So, I mean, Coach, we saw Cozy with the glove on his throwing hand. I mean, how serious is that injury then?
I mean, he had stitches. It's just a cut with stitches on it. He reopened it, like I say, yesterday, and he had to get stitched up again last night to close it up. So again, it wasn't healed. So
Did the stitches opening up last night kind of throw a wrench into your plans?
nah, it didn't. It didn't. We didn't execute.
What was
You
the
know,
plan? If I
Say it
may
again.
say,
I'm sorry.
no, it's okay. What was the plan to have him have a glove on his throwing hand from the get-go?
Yeah, he practiced all week with it on.
Okay, thank
and
you.
just, we were talking about sort of being consistent on offense. Would you say that I feel like the 31 points on UAB is very maybe misjudged, I guess, because I guess again there's 17 points off of turnovers. I think. I mean, how would you kind of assess the defense today?
Well, I thought our defense held up well. You think about it. You think about the position our offense put them in, and they did well, especially there early on with the interception and then the fumble down there. And our guys, like I say, I thought our defense put us, considering the situation we put them in, those guys did well. On the opening drive, I thought we could have did some things better, or a couple of those third and long when we let the quarterback outside the pocket, or the long run they had on third down. I mean, those were minimal mistakes by our DN. And again, we could have been off the field there, but they extended drive there. But other than those plays, I thought our defense did what they're supposed to, considering the position that they were in.
Does having a bye week after a loss like this kind of
It
a
sucks.
blessing in disguise for you guys, or does
It
it?
sucks going into a bye week with a loss. It sucks, but we got to make sure we're working our tail off so we don't feel this way anymore. And again, Charlotte's not going to feel sorry for us. We haven't won on the road. We have to win on the road. Everything in front of us still, and having a chance to play this team again. But we got to straighten some things out and find a way to win on the road. And talking about it's not going to do it. We got to go out there and get it done.
Coach, why do you think the team seems to struggle, or at the very least play differently on the road than compared to at home?
Great question. We're trying to find that out. We practiced differently this week, thinking maybe we need to do some things differently. And that didn't work out. So I think it's just a matter of going out and playing consistent football. I think if this football team just play consistently week in and week out, whether we're home or away, then we'll get those things. But we haven't played consistently enough to play that way. And again, if we want to be a championship team, we got to learn to do that. And again, I guess if there's any bright side of it, is the things that we want is still ahead of. We haven't really put ourselves in a big hole, but another loss will do that. So we got to make sure we do our part to finish this thing like we want to.